and hopefully that's going to work. Otherwise, I'm going to have to redo all this again later. There you go. Right. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my presentation, which Laura, or give me a thumbs up just on screen if you can see that in presentation mode. I can't actually see anybody at this point in time, but that is okay. Great. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. Okay, so be bold, be seen, take action to raise your visibility. Look, welcome. This is a new masterclass that I have developed. So you're the first to see it. And I've been wanting to run this for absolutely ages, and now it's here. So that is awesome. So I'm just trying to pin myself, not literally, metaphorically speaking, on Zoom, so I can actually see what my notes are saying. So welcome, and I really genuinely value your time at this time on a Thursday so close to Christmas. So thank you so much for that. Whether you're watching live now or on the replay, appreciate everybody who sent me notes saying that they have, other responsibilities today. So I hope you enjoy the replay as well. But really, welcome to those of you just joining. If you wouldn't mind keeping your cameras off, because I'm recording this to go on the YouTube channel later on. So like I said, I've been wanting to run this for absolutely ages, and now it's here. So helping business leaders, owners, entrepreneurs like you to get visible is something I just really enjoy doing, and I want to help you succeed. So this sort of masterclass, if you like, is for those of you who are, just wanting that little extra push, to step out of the shadows into the limelight, all the language. And, it's just really just about overcoming sort of any sort of hesitations you might have, and just start positioning yourself as the brilliant person in your industry that you absolutely are. There's a few key steps to take to achieve this, and I want to share with you, how I've helped people just like you to take action to raise their visibility, which then builds their credibility, which then leads to absolutely brilliant things for them and their businesses. And like I said, I just appreciate your time today, and I really want everybody in the call to come away with some sort of action they can take to be bold and seen. And towards the end, I've got sort of 3 things that you can do right now to start raising your visibility. So who am I? How have you ended up on a call with me today? Well, I'm Sarah McCracken. I am a PR specialist. I've been working in PR, I say over 20 years, it's more like 25, and I just absolutely love it. I have led campaigns. I have had people on the front page of the papers for good reasons, run features, podcasts, all the things connected with PR. And it's really just it's been about getting businesses and organizations visible and spokespeople visible. I have recently gone into training full-time, training and consulting. So I offer things like online and in-person training, how to write a press release, crisis communications, public affairs training, reputation masterclasses, how to increase your visibility, and many more things like that. I do one-to-one coaching as well. I do interim and contract work. I'm really pleased I have an interim contract at the minute with the Climate Coalition. So again, all the things, but all related back to PR. And like I said, I've just loved delivering PR training over the last couple of years to, a whole different range of clients. Westminster Insight, Go Succeeds, a local entrepreneurial program here, an international beauty company. I just all the things. Absolutely love doing it. And again, I want to share this knowledge with you. I'm based here in Northern Ireland, but I do work literally worldwide online. I've delivered training in Bermuda, unfortunately online, not in person. People, across the UK as well. I'm talking too quickly, do let me know, but I'm very excited about this. So does this sound familiar? Have you just ever said to yourself, I don't know where to start when it comes to raising my profile? And I hear it all the time. I've heard it over the years from all the very many people that I have worked with over the years. And there's a lot to this. It's not just, I don't know where to start. It's linked to what I call the what ifs. And it's, what if I mess up? What if I come across as a total idiot? What if I don't do things properly? What if someone thinks my idea is stupid? And there's so many what ifs. And I have gone through all of these myself, particularly when it came to setting up my own business. What if someone thinks it's really stupid for me to go into full-time PR consulting? You start to think like that. You get into a bit of a spiral, but it's all linked to, that overwhelm and just really not sure where to start. And there's so many what ifs. So panic not. I do have some solutions. So just in terms of what we're going to cover today, the session is for you if any of these things apply to you. So it's you just don't know where to start. There's so much to do. You're running your own businesses. You're working for big corporations trying to raise your profile to get another job. Whatever it is, you've got to get started somewhere, but you're not maybe just not quite sure. You're really worried about what other people will think. You see other businesses out there and think, yeah, that should be me. I mean, I do that quite a lot. You hear somebody talking about something, so, well, I could have talked about that. So again, what's stopping you from taking that next step? And, it's also for you if you want a tried and tested strategy. Because I'm here for the plans and all the strategies. And again, I've set up this business so I can share my knowledge with you. But I would say above all is don't panic. It is daunting. It can be really overwhelming, but it's just about taking that one step at a time and all will be absolutely well. And again, like I said, these things apply to many different roles and businesses. You might be wanting to move jobs, get a promotion. You might be wanting to showcase your business's service. These fundamentals that I can guide you through are all the same for whatever your ambition happens to be. And again, I've spoken to like literally hundreds of people over the years, and these are some of the reasons why they're failing to raise their profile. They don't know where to start, so they don't take any action at all, and that's really frustrating. Or else they jump straight ahead into doing stuff, and that's a real scattergun approach, which again doesn't lead to any tangible outcomes. It's just really annoying for yourself when you spent all this effort doing things. And just on that, digressing slightly as usual, big corporations, they don't have plans either. They jump ahead into doing stuff, but the advantage that you have as maybe a small business owner or somebody who's actually trying to make the change is you can make those decisions yourself, and you can sorry, just people in the waiting room, bear with. You can really take action to make those changes to get a plan in place. What I've also found over the years is that, people's comms approaches aren't aligned to their business planning. So again, what's the point? If you have a goal to do, X, Y, and Z in your business, but your comms isn't aligned to that, again, you're just going to be doing stuff over in the corner and it's not going to land. It's not going to make any difference. So what's the point of that? You've got to have it all aligned. And again, there's that lack of structured approach to raising their profile and getting visible. And the consequence of all of this is opportunities are missed to get visible, because again, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to get started. It's just so overwhelming, so many things to do when you're trying to run your business, and you feel like you failed. And I assure you haven't, but it's just those feelings that we just sort of need to work through, and you start to overcome and start to put those steps in place to try and have a better outcome. So before we go any further, I would just love to know just a wee bit more about you, and we'll do it through the chat. For the new people who've just joined us, you're very, very welcome. We're just getting started here. So if you would keep your cameras off, but pop into the chat. What is it that you do? And is there something in particular that I can help you with about being bold and seen? And just while you're doing that, I'll tell you why this is really important. Well, first of all, share your links to your businesses and let's amplify each other. That is your first step to getting visible. Share it in a safe space. Tell us what it is you do. Let's all connect with each other and start to learn about people's different products, businesses, and services. And again, in terms of what I can help you with, that's just to help me as we go along. I'm thinking up sort of examples, and we will have a Q&A at the end. You can ask me anything. So I'm going to open the chat now. What have you got? Please drop that in there. Just a couple of lines. What is it you do? What type of business you run? Obviously, my business is PR training and consultancy work. I also run my Sarah's Country Life Instagram channel if you're more into the cats and the chickens. So yeah, pop that, or if you don't want to pop it in the chat, send me a wee DM. I know some of you on the call, but I'd love just to see that. So while you're thinking of that, is the chat working? Will be my next question, because I'm not good at tech. I'm good at PR, not so much the tech. And welcome to those who've just joined us as well. I'm trying to keep a wee eye on the inbox. So yeah, drop it in the chat. What is it you do? And I can start to refer back to that as well. And I shared my LinkedIn earlier. So we've got Linda York. Oh, hello from York. this is where I find out that we're multinational. I love this bit. Local entrepreneurs and small businesses with their PR. Linda, I am sure there's a collab that we could be doing there, and be really helping amplify each other. That would be awesome. Let's talk about that next year. That'll be brilliant. Who else have we got? Lolita, you're so welcome. Project P with Lolita Reid, coaching, mentoring, and training for women solopreneurs. Well, that's a good one because I suspect we have a lot of women solopreneurs on this call. So again, please connect up through LinkedIn or your social platform of choice. Joe is supporting women to navigate emotions and change as a mindset and emotional well-being coach. Yeah, really important work there, Joe. Yeah, it's all going on. So I would love to learn a wee bit more about that as well. So that's brilliant. Right, keep those coming in, folks. Oh, here's another one. Moving. So we have 20 years experience on LinkedIn. Oh, brilliant. LinkedIn is my preferred platform of choice at the minute, I have to say. Never thought I'd say that. Moving away from comms as an independent travel agent, Sunflower Global Travels is the travel agency. Psychic and clairvoyant. Amazing. First of all, I need to book a holiday, so I'm checking that out, and would love to know more about the clairvoyancy. Public affairs officer for the Dogs Trust Northern Ireland. My dog is sleeping down behind me. If anybody has dogs, they're very welcome on this call, by the way. Campaigning with action on postpartum psychosis and breastable around women's maternal mental health. Laura, that's brilliant. I think we should have a wee chat after this as well, if only to talk about dogs, but also your other important work as well. Coaching people to enter the charity sector. Brilliant. I spent a lot of time, most of my career has been in the community and voluntary sector, so that's really, really important to me. Oh, so many leads. Angela, that's awesome. Exploring what's next. And I have been through redundancy as well. I'll be honest, I haven't looked back. It was a while ago now, but again, happy. I'm going to share, spoilers, folks, I'm going to share a QR code with you later if you want to book a 10-minute tea and chat with me about all things visibility and the training I'm going to tell you about. So doors open, Angela, if you want to have a wee chat about that and what I did next. So online learning, design and managing teams, freelancing is an option. Brilliant. Love it. Oh, Norway. Hello, Lolita. How are you? Greetings from Norway. We are truly international today, folks. I love it. Working online. Brilliant. Head of comms and marketing at a social care charity. New role. Yeah, trying to get leadership colleagues to appreciate strategic function of comms. Yeah, let's talk about that afterwards as well, Liz, because yeah, that could be a challenge. Been I done it. Eugene, you are very welcome. Nice to see you again. Linda, there's your LinkedIn. That's brilliant. Yeah, years of experience in comms and marketing with Eugene. Yeah, brilliant, folks. Right. I am so nosy, but that's why I love PR. That's why I love connecting with people and starting to tell your story. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the presentation now because you all need your lunch. Three things I'm going to cover today, just as part of this. It's not too long presentation because I want to save loads of time for the Q&A at the end. But really, based on all the things that I've heard over the years from people, I'll cover these three things. So what's stopping you from becoming visible, what's missing, and actions you can take right now to become more visible. So part one, what's stopping you from becoming more visible? We'll break that down to don't know where to start, and you're doing bits, but you feel like it's not working. I know how frustration that can be as well. So starting with the I don't know where to start, what I find is that the consequence is that there's no action at all. If you're feeling really overwhelmed because it feels like there's just so much to it. I mean, you want to go freelancing, but you need to set up a website and you need a mailing list and you need this and you need that. You can feel your head start to spin, but because it feels there's so much to do, it leads to doing nothing. And like I have been there, I've got that t-shirt. And then because there's no action taken, there's no profile or visibility for your business, product or service. And what would really, really help then to overcome some of this then is to get focus and clarity on where to put your efforts. And that then starts to reduce the overwhelm because you don't have to do everything. You don't have to be on every social platform. You don't have to be everywhere at once. And, if we can start to break that down and just get those one or two things that are going to start to move you forward, you'll start to get the changes. And just the one thing I would recommend you do right now is just take a really deep breath. It's all going to be okay. Just take that deep breath and pause for a minute. And, I can then start to support you with a step-by-step approach and just have a wee reflection on all the good stuff that you have done to date. It's not a total disaster by any shape or form, but just take a pause, reflect, and then we can move forward with what's working well. The second thing that stops people from getting visible, and again, I found this having spoken to very many people over the years, is that, you know, they're doing bits, but the overall approach is failing. You know, things like not having a clear purpose or focus, and this results in, again, not having a profile or visibility. And I know that it's really important, you know, to get that clarity and where to put your efforts. And again, I can support you in terms of that guidance. And, you know, it's things like, you know, when I've spoken to, I've got somebody in mind when I'm thinking about this, you know, I've had a conversation with her, and, you know, I did a press release, but nobody picked it up. I hear that quite a lot. You know, I did some posts on Instagram, but, you know, I didn't get any likes. You know, my reel didn't go viral. And again, you're just doing bits, but it's not aligned to anything, and it starts to get really frustrating. And you probably found that yourself. I did have a viral, I'm digressing again, I did have a viral reel on Instagram at one point, and you know what, that's all it did. Got 2 new followers out of it. There was no meaningful outcomes of having that, so we don't need to be chasing the viral nature of stuff anyway. And again, you know, the struggle is real. I have tried very many different types of approaches over the years, and it takes a while to figure out the best way to do things. Even when I set up my business, I tested out TikTok, I've tested out Facebook, I've tested out Instagram, but for me, LinkedIn at the minute is my platform of choice, and it gives me that, you know, clear focus to raise my profile and visibility. And again, getting clear on your purpose really helps to underpin it all. So now you know, I keep telling you, I have these approaches, blah, 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 but does it work? I hear you ask. Well, yes, it does. And again, it's tools and techniques that I have developed over the years, taking that PR approach from beginning to end to raise profiles. And this is a profile from Ellen. Now, these testimonials are all on my LinkedIn, so please go and check them all out. And again, if you have any questions, contact, you know, the people, contact me, not a problem whatsoever. So Ellen has an absolutely cracking podcast. If you're into all things politics, it's the Policy 360 podcast. And I started working with Ellen when she needed to develop a PR plan to raise her visibility and that of her podcast. And we started right at the beginning of just identifying what's the outcome she wanted to achieve, and then work step by step through setting goals, working out who her audience was and what her messaging was aligned to her outcome and her audience. And then we got into the tactics of actually doing it. And again, underpinning all of this was having a clear purpose and focus. And, you know, and I can see what's come out of these conversations. You know, the newsletters are brilliant. The podcasts are super. You know, the social media, it's all tied in. So just absolutely delighted to have helped Ellen with that. And this is Naomi. She needed some help with writing press releases to boost her visibility. And again, she worked her way through my step-by-step approach. It was an online approach that I shared with her. And because it's me, I said, look, would you send me what you've written? Because I just want to make sure that, you know, she's absolutely got it. And she did. And it was brilliant what she'd actually written. You should follow the approach. She'd used the templates that were available. She got her press release written, and it was super. So she got all the coverage she needed. And, you know, and again, I've seen her since then, you know, highlighting other things that she's been doing through her socials, you know, other events, and, you know, she's getting the coverage that she absolutely deserves. So moving briefly on to part 2 now. And again, if you have any questions so far, jot them down, pop them in the chat on a piece of paper, and we'll come back to them at the Q&A. But I'm just going to cover 3 areas quickly now. And it's really just about the need to have a plan, the need to be clear on what you're saying, and the need to have the confidence to take action. And I've seen that much of this lack of confidence just comes down to just not having the plan or the clarity. So, you know, if you can get that in place, you're going to have that really good foundation to build on, and that gives you the confidence to go forward. Again, because I've done it myself. Do you know, it's just getting it all written down and thinking, yes, that small step, I can do that today. And then you start moving forwards. So in terms of planning, right, okay, you need to know this about me right now, is that I absolutely love a plan. And I'm talking about a plan on a page. I'm not talking here about War and Peace. I find it really helps to see things written down or visualized in a diagram, you know, whatever you prefer. But if you don't have that plan, then how you're going to achieve your goal of becoming more visible. I was Googling last night, all the quotes and planning to share something really, really good with you today. But basically, a goal without a plan is just a wish. That's what I settled on. So your plan is like your roadmap of how to get to your destination. If you don't have a plan, no one is going to know about you because you won't be taking action to raise your profile. Your competitors will be better known as you. And when I say competitors, it could be as an individual, people within an organization trying to pitch for something, or it could be you as a product, business or service trying to get a bit more visibility. And again, just in terms of how I've done it in the past, this has come from my colleague Nuala. And again, we've worked with her in a number of times, particularly around event planning. So again, even like a really small event, we've had a plan on a page. We've worked out what it is we want to achieve. We've worked out who the target audience is, and we've worked out how to connect up with them to get the bums on seats at the events. And then that has resulted in a really good outcome for the actual event. So again, planning is everything. So I'll happily help you get a plan in place to raise your visibility. And again, I've seen this a lot over the years as well, and it's about not being clear on what you're saying. And think about what you do yourself, right? So you're sat of a Friday evening, TV's on, you've got, you're scrolling through Instagram, maybe LinkedIn, and you pause and you watch something. And if you're just not clear what the person's on about, you just scroll on. Think about as well all the emails you get in from stuff you subscribe to. I'm not talking about work emails here because you can't unsubscribe to them. I've tried that in the past. But anyway, you've got all these newsletters coming in, all the Black Friday deals were in now, it's all the Christmas wishes are coming in. And just think about that. You just glance at it if you even open it. I mean, how many hundreds of unread emails do you have? And this is the problem. We're being bombarded constantly by messaging, and it all starts to blur together. So if you want to raise your profile and be more visible, you need clarity on what you're saying and who you're saying it to. Because if you're not, nobody will hear you. When I say hear, I mean nobody will read about you. Nobody will know what it is that you do, or you won't. The wrong people will hear about you. Do you know your customers won't know about you because you'll not be in that feature, that product feature in a magazine, or you'll not be on that podcast. So it's going to be your competitors. And again, think yourself, when you're maybe looking for a new product or something, you go and you Google it, don't you? And then something will come up, and it could be a review, or it could be a profile piece, or it could be your social media accounts. If it's not clear from that, from those brief links that will pop up on the first page of Google of what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're about, again, the person looking for that product, business, service is going to go to somebody else. And again, in terms of how I've done it in the past, I worked for an organisation in the education sector. I worked with the lovely Rachel here. And this organisation was brand new. So our stakeholders, which were schools, didn't know about us. They needed to know about us because we were their new advocacy body. So I had to really quickly devise messaging that was really clear on what we were about, so that the school leaders would come on board with us, and know that we had their best interests at heart. So again, we set that up from scratch, going step by step through the process of understanding what our outcomes had to be, what we needed to say to them, and just how we aligned that with our target audiences. And they're a really tough audience, schools, I have to say, if anybody's worked in the education sector. But again, that approach, that step-by-step approach, worked really, really well. Within 3 months, we were where we needed to be in terms of profile, in the media, with politicians, but also with the schools themselves. So again, step-by-step approach, clarity over what we were saying, that worked really well for us. And so the third thing then is not having clear messaging exacerbates, a lack of confidence to take action. And I find, people spend a lot of time worrying what will people say. But I challenge you right now, write down the names of those people that you're worried about what they're going to say. Do they even exist, or are they just in your head? And I'm speaking from experience here. It's like, oh my goodness, what is so-and-so going to think about this? And they probably don't even know. Anyway, once you get started, in terms of your, should I say journey? Your journey to be more visible. So many people are going to be cheering you on, including me. And again, speaking from experience, I have found this, when you speak it into existence, when you start to tell somebody what it is you want to achieve, people are going to go, that's class. I need your service. We've seen it in the chat, people's business services. People need what you're offering. So let's tell people about it. sometimes the people I've worked with think they aren't good enough. And I can tell you right now that they were brilliant. And I know that you're brilliant as well. And again, it's just get building up that confidence. It's getting over the what ifs. It's getting over the what will people say, and just taking that next step. And once the people I've worked with have had the confidence to take that next step, they don't stop. Once you get going, it's brilliant. You just keep at it because you have a tried and tested process that works. And just to remind you, no one else is going to raise your profile except you. Yes, I can help you with the planning, the messaging, the media, the audience, the social media, all the bits. But when it comes down to it, it's you that's actually going to be doing it. And what I love most is seeing people succeed. So this is a testimonial from Serena. Again, she says it there on her testimonial. She was having a crisis of confidence and connection with the piece of work she was doing. So her and I hopped on a call. We talked it all through. We worked it all out. And then she got, I think she got distinction actually, in her final assignment. So again, just building up confidence, ironing out what the issues are, and just seeing people fly is just what I love doing. So we were out the other week actually, having the crack, and it's just brilliant then to keep in touch with people that you've worked with, as well. So keep jotting down those questions. I just want to spend a couple of minutes of how we can, some suggestions of how we can just bring it all together. So, the getting started, the focus, the planning, the messaging clarity, the confidence. Please don't be feeling overwhelmed. I am going to introduce some training I'm launching next year, and I'm going to give you 3 actions that you can take right now to get visible, and then we're going to do our Q&A, and there's stuff in the chat that I want to go and read. This is my visibility van. And it's really just to show how it all links together. When you raise your profile, more people are going to know about your brilliant self and your products and services. That positive, good reputation will lead to better credibility and trust with your customers. And that increased visibility will lead to a better perception of you and your business, leading to more sales. And again, it's back to think how you Google a product or service, see what comes up and think, oh, I like that. I'm going to click on that link and I'm going to read about this. So it all then starts to come together, and these things all overlap, and you're right in the middle of it, because if not you, then who? So yeah, just keep it in mind. It's like a virtuous circle, if you like. Start to take action and it all starts to build from there. And just when I do work with people, I've mentioned some of the brilliant women I've worked with to date, but this slide is just to really sort of visualize the process that I follow with them. Absolutely. Start with the outcome that you want to achieve, and then everything ties back to that. So I want to achieve visibility to promote my podcast, or I want to achieve visibility to sell my product on nutrition, whatever it happens to be. Because once you have that outcome, we can then clarify on who you want to talk to. That's your target audience. So it could be, if you're in a charity, it could be funders. It could be, service users, who that happens to be. It's not the whole world. I don't need to tell you that, but just absolute clarity on who you want to talk to. And then we talk through what it is you want to say. What's your story? And again, I hear a lot. It's like, oh, I'm not very interesting. I don't have a lot to say. So I guarantee, see 10 minutes, you and I'll have a wee chat, and I'll be thinking, oh my goodness, that is amazing. I can't believe you've done that, or you set it up from here, and look at the hundreds of people you've helped, and it all starts to come out, and we can start then to create content around that. But it all ties back to the outcome that you want to achieve. And then once we've gone through all that, then we start building that plan to raise your profile. So for me, it's really fundamental to do this groundwork first, and then you jump into doing the podcast or doing the social media or doing the press releases, all the fun stuff. So I hope that makes sense to you. But again, save all your questions for the Q&A. So very briefly next, I want to introduce you to this new program that I am launching next year. And look, this is something I have been wanting to do for like a really, really long time. Because again, I get so frustrated when I see people struggle with how to raise their visibility, and it is genuinely straightforward. So I want to support as many people as I can to start to get visible. So I have designed a new group training program called Be Bold, Be Seen, Get Visible. And through this, like I said, I want to help as many people as possible just get the confidence to raise their visibility and profile. And yes, a plan will be produced as part of this, and you'll have a plan like forever to be working on. And it's basically, step by step working with me in a group setting, just to give you the confidence to get the visibility and profile you deserve. Planning to start on the 3rd of March 2025, which is not very far away. That's next month is 2025, folks. How did that happen? Hope you're all reflecting on all your wins for the year. I know that's on my to-do list to do this afternoon. But it's going to be through online live training, plus all the support you need in and around that. And just briefly, in terms of what we're going to do, week 1 is about why becoming visible is important. It's about identifying your goals. What's the outcome you want to achieve? Putting some objectives in place that we can then, start to achieve as we work through the weeks of training. Week 2 will be about identifying your audience. So who is it that you want to target in terms of your product, business, or service, or whatever it is you want to achieve in terms of your outcome? It's very, very personal to you. But again, I have all the tools available to help you do that. There's stakeholder mapping, there's ideal customer avatars, it's where and how to find your audience. And that's really, really key. Just by way of example, if your target audience is all on Instagram, don't be on Facebook. If you're business to business, LinkedIn's probably appropriate, not TikTok. Again, we'll start to work all that out so that you can focus on that one platform where your audience will be, and then start to build the others after that. And just speaking of platforms, obviously there's a week on social media and how to build a strategy around that. And again, I do hear a lot of like, I don't like speaking on camera. I don't like doing videos. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to do any of that. I'll help you do it. But again, it's just to understand where your target audience, on which platform, and which will work best for your business, and how to get that consistency going just along the way in terms of what to post in terms of content. Networking, a really essential part of building your visibility. Could be attending events, joining online communities, connect with people in your industry. And again, a lot of people struggle with that. It's really daunting to walk into a room on your own to a networking event and you don't know anyone, and what am I going to say? So again, in terms of this, we'll look at your elevator pitch, what are the barriers to attending, how do you find events? And can I just say, like, networking is a skill that we can all learn. I learned it many, many years ago, and you can do it without being too cringy. So can't wait to cover that. Week 5 then is all about the media, press releases, engagement with the media, all the fun stuff that everybody loves to do. But think about podcasts there as well. Think about printed papers, online news outlets as well. We can cover all of that. Again, linked to the networking is how to use events and speaking engagements. Probably filling you with horror at this point in time, but think of presentations you could give to business groups connected with your target audience, or what conferences could you be attending? How do you get the confidence up to ask to speak at a conference or go on a panel discussion? Again, all the tools available for that in terms of advice on what to say and how to say it, and I will give all that to you as part of the training. And week 7, just to evaluate and reflect and celebrate the wins along the way. Having set your goals and your outcomes at the start, we can start to look at what you've achieved over the course of the week. And, it's really just about setting you up for success into the future and how to continue to grow your visibility. So I'm really, really excited to be bringing this all together. Just how it'll work: weekly live training, lunch and learn, unless you all tell me that you want to do it in the evening, in which case I'll change it to the evenings. That's no problem. Any workbook, template, pitch doc, anything you need, I have it all here, and all will be provided to you. Because again, if you want to write a press release, I can give you the template. You just follow that, away you go. I've spoken on podcasts. I have a very specific pitch doc for that. I can share the format of that with you, and send you the template for the email if you like to send. It's all yours, whatever it is you need. A private pop-up Facebook group would be really important so we can all support each other. Access to me if you have any questions throughout the program and afterwards, to be honest. And at the end of 7 weeks, you're going to have the confidence to get visible, a plan, clarity on what you're saying, a raised profile in social media. You're going to have a brilliant network even amongst the cohort, and you're just going to be absolutely flying. So just to recap, 7 weeks of training starting in March, all the stuff, and the outcome will be the confidence to get the visibility you deserve. And this is the first time I have run this training, so I've kept the investment really, really low. So that's less than £50 per session, and that will increase in the future because I'm going to keep adding to this. As we go along, I'll be adding to it as well, based on what it is that you need. And just by way of a bonus, the first 10 people who book onto the training will get a one-to-one with me. And that'll be valid for 6 months. So you can do the course and then go away and have a think and then come back to me in 6 months' time and say, look, I want to try this. What do you think? Is this working? Or maybe you'll have a question related with PR and something completely different. Could be something completely separate, and I'll happily sit down with you in terms of that and help you work through that. If you want to talk this is the QR code I was telling you about. So if you're ready to start, scan the code, book a wee tea and chat with me. If you're not quite ready, scan the code anyway and have a tea and chat with me. And I can take you through in more detail about what the course will cover and answer any questions you might have. There's some slots available next Monday, and then there's others available in January. I'm going to run more of these webinars as well in the new year. So if you have more questions, you can come back then. But just let's have a tea and chat and start to build those connections. And say the first 10 people who sign up will be able to, have a one-to-one with me in the future as well. So thank you for listening to that. I really appreciate it. I'm going to give you 3 actions to take right now. So jot this down as we go along. But first of all, can I suggest that you clarify what it is that you do? And I'm going to give you a little format. Use this format. I am and I help so that. So here's an example. I am Sarah McCracken and I am a PR expert. I help entrepreneurs and business leaders to gain confidence so that they can make 2025 the year of taking action to get visible. So it's a really simple structure, but once you get that nailed, you can use that absolutely everywhere. So take, for example, your social media. I would encourage you, over the Christmas period, to go and update your social media. Yeah, maybe your LinkedIn or your Instagram, but look at your bios and optimize them. And you can add in this clarity statement that you've just written to tell your audience what it is that you do. And it doesn't have to be a one-off. You can pop it, you can talk about it in your stories, you can create different types of content around it, but have that at the heart of what it is that you do. And then a third action you can take right now is to do some networking. And I know how hard it can be to go on your own to go networking, but there's so many online and in-person opportunities out there. And you now have something to say. Do you know when you do the round robin and everybody's saying, oh yeah, introduce yourself? Well, you now have that written. So whether, it could be FSB, it could be a local business chamber event, it could be a networking event, a conference, go through LinkedIn and Eventbrite and see what's coming up and just to sign up to them. But you now have your clarity statement that's on your socials that you can talk about in networking. And the more networking you do, the more overlap there'll be with the people who follow you on social media, particularly if you're very locally focused as well. So I hope that's really helpful to you right now. Leave that up for a second. Do you want to jot anything down? There's 7 things in the chat that I'm going to look at. But let me know, have you any questions? We time check. Oh, look at that. I've waffled on for about 40 minutes now, half an hour. Going to run on. I'm happy to stay on as long as you like to have the crack, but have you any questions? Pop them in the chat right now, and it can be anything to do with PR, visibility, training course. This is Isabella Cow. You can talk about her with my tinsel. Do let me know, and I will read out the questions. And let me see where we at. Hop off at 12:30 for a meeting. We'll catch up afterwards. That is brilliant. If you're watching the playback, I look forward to talking to you. Oh, we've got a pro athlete and mum, Neve. Oh my goodness. Moving into the business era, basing around mindset, self-love, and wellness to inspire and make impact with others. Amazing. Oh, I would love to talk more about that. Have you seen Impact Players is a conference? Sorry, I'm not sure where you're based, Neve. Have you seen that? It's been held in Belfast next year, being run by Lisa Strutt and Sinead Sharkey-Steenson. I've got my ticket. I'm so excited. But it's based around sport and business. And if you haven't seen that, I'd encourage you to check that out. Karen, Strategic Comms Manager for Nilga. Brilliant to have you. Yes, Nave, lovely to meet you all and be surrounded in line with the right people. And that's Oh, Niamh, that's lovely. Thank you. This is why it's so important to me that we all connect up on this call and start to support each other. And that's kind of the network that I want to build. Share the templates, Eugene. Anything specifically? Drop me a wee DM or let's have a call because I've got a whole lot. So we'll do that. Gillian, can you put the QR code up? Yes, QR code. Right, bear with. That's an easy question. Oh no, I'll do it. It's on the next slide. There you go. Somebody else has to leave, has an appointment. That's brilliant. Have we any questions about PR or getting visible? Well, hit me with them. This is a fun bit. I was speaking at an event one day. It was a common purpose event and it was connected with young people. So I was going in to host a table discussion. So I did my intro at the start and said, you ask me anything. And the delegate who was speaking next to me, he just sort of looked at me and said, don't be asking me anything. So anyway, depends what you like. Can I screenshot the clarify what you do slide? Nate? Yes, and I'm going to send this out afterwards, by the way, folks, you'll get it all again. Is this the one you mean? Nate, we can do that. There you go. Any more questions? I think of questions I get asked a lot. I mean, just PR wise, and I know there's another really good political campaigner on the call as well. So again, PR is really powerful for affecting change. It's advocacy work is really good. I love doing that. I absolutely love doing media training, preparing people to speak to the press or go in front of political committees. That's absolutely brilliant to do. But the thing that I love is telling stories. So it's working with the community and voluntary sector. It's about, hearing the impact of people's business and services and people's lives and telling that story. And I know just from the businesses that you've shared with me here today, you're impacting on people's lives as well. So think of those stories around, I've helped 1,000 women with a nutrition, or I've helped, 100 people overcome self-doubt about something. We can start to have conversations around that, and then that starts to build your story. And I think that's just where the power of PR absolutely comes in. So we'll get asked about that quite a lot. The other thing I get asked a lot is it's really just how to get started. And to be quite blunt about that, you just have to take that really deep breath and just start. But again, if we can identify your outcome and what will work best, we can just take those really small steps. And can I just say, like a couple of years ago, I was in this position as well. It's like, oh, should I do this? Should I not? Should I post about this, in connection with this business? Because I had a full-time job as well. But once I had encouragement, I had a really good business mentor mentoring me at the time, and just they helped me take that first step. And it's just been fantastic. So is the course useful for career or job change? Yes, it could be, because where I'm at with that is it's about your visibility. So it's about helping you tell your story as well. It's about, so I've worked with some individuals who are in 9-to-5 jobs, broadly speaking, and they're using it as a way, and it's about how do you build your profile for the future. So say on LinkedIn, because I'm quite a fan of LinkedIn, believe it or not, at the minute. It's about, I help them set and train like a content plan. So again, so they could showcase their knowledge, they could showcase what it is that they're doing, they could demonstrate what they're doing, and that then gets into the public domain. So when you're starting then to connect up with potential future employers, or you're going to see all the job opportunities, you can shape your content around that as well. And I did speak to some university students last week about how to use social media for that very thing as well. So, it's about connecting up, who's your network, who's your target audience, and connecting up the network that way through your social platforms. So yes, but Gillian, let's get a wee chat about it, and we can just go through exactly what it is you need and make sure it's right for you. So in your experience as your PR, how would you go about topic areas, and how would we focus on key topics you're currently doing market research? Say a bit more. Do you mean topic areas on which you can create content that would appeal to your target audience? In which case, yeah, there's a number of tools out there, like a simple Google search, what are people looking for? Answer the Public is very, very good as well. You can pop in some keywords and it'll show you what people are searching for and on that. Going out and talking to people. again, I've built up a bank of stuff over the years that I know people need, want, are interested in. I've gone out and spoken to business groups, and I've got information that way. And it's when you do connect up with people, you can ask them directly. So let me know if that's not actually what you were talking about, please, and I'll re-answer the question. PR stunts. Do you have any local examples beyond art? Oh, Sarah, that's kind of worms. I am personally not a fan of PR stunts. My former colleagues will tell you that. I am a fan of plan, manage, strategic, constant, consistent profile raising. But in terms of stunts, they do have a place to play. One of the ones I was involved with was the Disappearing Puffin. You can I'll find the link for that. That was a sand art on the north coast that the RASPB did, and that worked really well to showcase that visibility of the disappearing nature. So they can work, but again, what is the outcome you're trying to achieve? Who's your target audience? Will it appeal to them, or will it just annoy them? And how can you reach them? If you're thinking political stunts, I mean, I have run petitions in the past. Back in the day before change.org, I got 32,000 signatures on a petition that, again, we had the steps of Stormont, hand over, the boxes of all the signatures are really good visuals. So that worked as well. So they do have a place if they're aligned to what it is you want to do. But again, let's have a wee chat about it. And you can just talk me through your ideas. Oh, that's very kind, Lolita. Thank you. Gillian, thank you. See you soon. Neve. Oh, I've answered your question, Neve. That's a good start. Sarah Stewart, audience is largely marketers. Oh, so I hope to be receptive. So thank you. Yeah, let's get a wee chat. Brilliant. Right. If there's no more, right. And again, if you're watching this in playback, if you've had to leave early, thank you so much for your time. I would like to wish you a really happy Christmas. Have a really brilliant new year, and see you next year. Thank you. Your time is just so precious. Thank you for that. Get me in the DMs on LinkedIn. Let's have a tea and chat next year. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Thank you.